Person, anything can happen. Anybody can be knocked out. Because remember, the chin don't lift weights. That's what I always say.
Heavyweights as the sparring, or bigger people, like from middleweight to heavyweight. And the thing is, don't be surprised, okay? This is a photo. This is a photo of one of the bigger guys that he was sparring.
Floyd Mayweather was reportedly left stunned after witnessing Gervonta Davis knock out a heavyweight during a recent sparring session ahead of the Jake Paul fight. According to Mayweather, the moment was a reminder of what true boxing mastery looks like. People still don't understand that size doesn't decide boxing, Floyd said. A bigger body can fall just as fast if the opponent has speed, power, and perfect timing. He went on to explain that what Tank displayed wasn't luck, it was the result of precision, experience, and explosive technique honed over years. For Mayweather, Davis's knockout proved that elite skill can neutralize size every time. A smaller fighter can absolutely knock out a larger one, Floyd added. Tank just showed that again, by dropping a man way above his weight like it was nothing. The story has since fueled even more buzz around the Davis-Paul showdown, with fans now questioning whether Jake's size will truly matter once Tank starts landing clean.
Anybody can be knocked out, so I don't put nothing past nobody. I can be knocked out. Hit me from the blind side. That's most time how fighters get knocked out, with the hook. You can't see a hook coming because it comes from the blind side. But as far as with boxing, I don't really need to beef with. I really don't need to beef with nobody in a sport of boxing. Even though it could be some people I really don't like, I don't need to beef with nobody. They ain't got what I got. They boxers. I'm a businessman. And then on the outside, most times, a motherfucker got beef with me because they ain't got what I got.
Gervonta Davis has built his entire career on taking risks against bigger, stronger opponents, a pattern that continues leading into his clash with Jake Paul. His coaches say this isn't by accident. They've always believed that pushing Tank against heavier fighters sharpens his reflexes, power, and composure under pressure. Training with larger athletes forces him to rely on precision, timing, and controlled aggression, the very traits that make him so dangerous in the ring. Meanwhile, Jake Paul is approaching camp with a different focus. He's reportedly sparring with shorter, slicker fighters to simulate Tank's speed and head movement, hoping to learn how to cut off the ring and land clean counters. Both camps understand that physical differences don't decide fights, strategy and execution do. Davis's durability and explosiveness have been molded through years of testing himself against size disadvantages, while Jake is crafting tactical approaches to neutralize elite movement. When they finally meet, it won't just be power versus agility, it'll be a battle of discipline, adjustment, and ring intelligence.
Like from middleweight to heavyweight. And the thing is, don't be surprised, okay? This is a photo. This is a photo of one of the bigger guys that he was sparring. But in the past, like maybe a few years ago, he was fighting a guy in Mayweather's camp. He was a bigger guy. I think he was like a middleweight or something like that. He was whooping his ass. One time he was like on live whooping a bigger guy's ass. He's just beating bigger guys like middleweights and stuff. He's done that in sparring forever. Remember this story? I've brought it up a million times and I've showed this clip a million times, but on Ellie's set back. This story of this guy saying how Gervonta Tank Davis knocked out this heavyweight.
Tell me the story. What happened?
Tank, what's the one boy name?
No, don't say a name. I don't want to embarrass anyone.
Oh, no, you're right.
But tell people what happened.
Man, I was about to spar. Before I was about to spar Tank, he was sparring this big boy.
A heavyweight.
Heavyweight boy. And Tank hit that nigga. He hit him so hard that he was on the top of the rope just like this. I thought he died. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought he died.
Hey, I've seen him knock out some heavyweights. He might knock all that ass out now.
You knocked out a heavyweight?
Yeah.
How was that?
Cause I hit harder than Wilder.
Now, granted, the heavyweights that Gervonta Tank Davis is whooping and sparring is not like, all-time great heavyweights, all right? And it shouldn't be. But he's sparring the heavyweight, the level of heavyweight that, more experienced than Jake Paul, right? But Jake Paul has beaten those heavyweights himself, all right? I'm thinking that is the caliber of heavyweight that Gervonta Tank Davis is sparring, but he's whooping their asses. And that's a good thing. I feel with Jake Paul sparring Raymond Ford, to me, it looked like Raymond Ford got the best of him. It looked like Jake Paul was a little exhausted, and it looked like Raymond Ford wasn't. It looked like Jake Paul was a little disappointed in his performance, and Raymond Ford was trying to give him a pick-me-up. Just kind of letting them up. No, we do this and do that. It just looked like Raymond Ford was in a confident, secure place. more dominant place, the more alpha out the two in the ring, and that's Raymond Ford. That ain't Gervonta Davis. You know, I love Raymond Ford. I have him on my fighters list. But still, I don't think anyone thinks he's as skillful or as powerful as Gervonta Tank Davis.
Reports from inside Gervonta Davis's camp paint a picture of a fighter in frightening form. Gym insiders say Davis has been dismantling much larger sparring partners, men who walked in confident and walked out dazed. Witnesses describe the same pattern: one clean shot, usually timed with perfect precision, and the bigger fighter's strength suddenly means nothing. The talk around the gym isn't just about Tank's power, it's about his precision. He doesn't need to load up or swing wild. His compact stance and explosive upper body torque allow him to generate devastating force in an instant. The result is punches that land clean and finish fights quickly. What's become clear is that Tank's power isn't confined to lightweight limits. Those who've seen these sessions firsthand say his shots carry shock value well beyond his weight class. It's not just hype, it's proof that accuracy and timing can dismantle size. For Jake Paul and anyone else assuming bulk will shield them from danger, Davis's camp stories serve as a serious warning.
A heavyweight and brutal sparring session, and it just makes me think. You're willing to go spar with heavyweights, but you're not willing to go fight people that you should be fighting. You know what I mean? You're fighting Lamont Roach. His sparring partners was like, man, I was about to spar Tank. He was sparring this big boy, a heavyweight boy. And Tank hit him so hard, he was on the ropes like this, hanging. I thought he died. I was like, man, I hope you don't do this stuff to me. When Davis asked to confirm whether it was true, the WBA lightweight champion said, stuff be happening. Best not to get in there with me. That's it. This guy has all the skills in the world to knock out even heavyweights in sparring, and yet he won't fight Shakur Stevenson. He won't fight Teofimo Lopez. He won't fight anyone that he needs to fight to become great. He's fighting Frank Martin and Lamont Roach. You know what I mean? It's just truly crazy. But hey, it's his career. If he wants to just make money, the easiest money that he can without fighting the hardest competition.
A leading boxing analyst recently reminded fans that judging Gervonta Davis based on one underwhelming performance misses the full story of his career. Even when a fight doesn't end in fireworks, Davis shows qualities that define elite fighters: composure under pressure, adaptability, and a deep understanding of ring dynamics. In that off night, he still navigated danger, adjusted mid-fight, and stayed in control from start to finish. The analyst contrasted this with Jake Paul's experience level, pointing out that while Jake has shown grit and heart, he's yet to face situations where every move carries career-level consequences. Davis, on the other hand, has been in those moments repeatedly: championship fights, massive crowds, and high-pressure environments where one mistake could mean defeat. For Tank, tough fights become lessons that sharpen his instincts. For Jake, those same challenges remain uncharted territory. Fans predicting an upset overlook one of boxing's oldest truths: skill wins rounds, but experience wins fights. And when the lights are brightest, experience often becomes the difference between surviving and succeeding.
Tank Davis. Can't believe I actually have to make this video, but let's break this down. The fact that there's actually credible names in the boxing industry saying that Jake Paul's gonna KO Tank Davis is wild. Look, I know Tank Davis's last performance against Lamont Roach was not that good. And in recent years, he's devalued his stock as a fighter by cherry picking, being extremely inactive, and just straight up fighting lazy sometimes. But let's not forget the offensive powerhouse that Tank Davis is. When he's on, he's one of the best knockout punchers in the sport today. He usually fights very economical the first few rounds, whether that's by strategy or that's just a habit he's had ever since he started boxing. But he starts out very slow in the first few rounds. But once he starts to let his hands go and that snowball starts running downhill, there's almost nothing in the sport of boxing that can stop that. You need a guy who has elite defense to be able to stop an offensive assault like that. Only guys like Shakur Stevenson, Jaron Ennis, and maybe Devin Haney have the ability to stop that. And then we have Jake Paul. Yes, he's 6'2". Yes, he's going to be 200 pounds in the ring. But as you can see with his fight with Tommy Fury, he has poor defense. Whenever he faces another boxer who actually knows what they're doing, once they let their hands go, Jake doesn't know what to do. He's not comfortable defending, whether that's moving his feet or moving his head or just having a tight high guard. He doesn't do it. He gets fatigued and starts dropping his hands, and that would be fine if he had good movement to make up for it. but he doesn't. He has some pretty decent offense, but he mainly throws punches and combinations for the first 4 or 5 rounds and then gets fatigued. He's not a true one-punch knockout artist, and he's not a very good strategic fighter either when it comes to winning decisions. So what's going to happen is Jake Paul's going to throw combinations for the first 4 or 5 rounds, and then right when he gets tired, Tank's going to come on strong and start unloading with the hardest punches that Jake Paul has ever been hit with. And he'll get stopped. It might not be a one-punch knockout, but Jake Paul will get stopped.